Every Percy Jackson Gods ranking makes the same mistake. They rank the 12 Olympians by the books, and they all crown Zeus number one. But the real Greek myths, the ones Homer and Hesiod wrote down 3,000 years ago, hide a secret the books never tell you. The Olympians aren't even the most powerful gods. There are three forces in these myths so old and so vast that Zeus himself was afraid of them. So tonight, we do this properly. Not by the books, but by what these gods actually did, the monsters they killed, the titans they buried, the wars they won, and the wars they lost. We'll count down all 16 powers, the 12 Olympians, Hades, and then the three forces that sit above them all. The god everyone crowns number one, you'll find Zeus at number 4. Because the real number one was never a god with a thunderbolt. It was 3 old women and a single thread. One rule before we begin. Power here means feats, not fame, not how frightening a god sounds, but what they truly accomplished in the myths, their domain, their victories, the things even other gods feared. We start at the bottom, number 16, Aphrodite. It's tempting to put the goddess of love at the very bottom. She commands no armies and fights no monsters, but that would be a mistake, because Aphrodite started the deadliest war in Greek myth with a single promise. When a mortal prince was asked to name the fairest of 3 goddesses, Aphrodite offered him the most beautiful woman alive, and that one bribe launched 1,000 ships and burned the city of Troy to ash. She needs no weapon. Not even Zeus is immune to desire. Hers is the softest power in these myths, and the soft power is the kind that topples kingdoms. Number 15. Ares. Here is the cruel joke of Greek mythology. The god of war is one of its biggest losers. In the Iliad, a mortal Diomedes drives a spear into Ares's belly, and the god flees to Olympus screaming like a wounded child. 2 giants once ambushed him, bound him, and sealed him inside a bronze jar, where he stayed helpless for 13 long months. And every single time he faces Athena, he loses. Ares is the blood and noise of war, but never its mind. And in these myths, the mind always wins. Number 14. Hephaestus. The other gods threw him from Olympus not once but twice, and yet without him, not one of them would be armed. Hephaestus forged the thunderbolts in Zeus's hand. He hammered the armor of Achilles. When his mother Hera cast him out, he built her a golden throne so cunning that the moment she sat, invisible chains bound her fast, and no god could free her until he chose to. The lame smith holds a quiet kind of power. Everything the others fight with, he made. Number 13. Hermes. The one Olympian who comes and goes from the land of the dead as he pleases. On the day he was born, he climbed from his cradle and stole the cattle of Apollo. He lulled the 100-eyed giant Argus, a creature that never closed every eye at once, into sleep and killed him. He is the guide of souls, the patron of thieves, the messenger no door can keep out and no jailer can hold. You cannot lock Hermes out, and you cannot catch him. Number 12. Dionysus. The most underestimated god on Olympus. He is not merely the god of wine, he is the god of madness, and madness is a weapon no shield can stop. He drove the women of entire cities to murder. He turned a crew of pirates into dolphins for daring to chain him. He marched an army as far as India and conquered it. And he did what no other god managed. He went down into the underworld, brought his mortal mother back, and raised her into an immortal goddess, not returned to mortal life, but lifted into Olympus itself. Power over the mind and over death. Number 11. Demeter. When Hades stole her daughter Persephone into the underworld, Demeter did not beg. She let the world die. Crops withered, the soil turned to dust, humanity starved, and the smoke of sacrifice, the food of the gods, stopped rising to Olympus. She held all life hostage until Zeus himself was forced to bargain. The first winter the world ever knew was simply Demeter's grief. And she won. Number 10. Artemis, the huntress who never misses. Where her brother Apollo brings the plague, Artemis brings the arrow, and the arrow always finds its mark. She struck down the giant Orion. She helped destroy the Allodae, 2 giants who tried to storm Olympus itself. And when a queen named Niobe boasted that she was greater than the gods, it was Artemis and Apollo who answered, and Niobe was left with nothing. Cross Artemis, and you do not get a warning. You get silence. Number 9. Apollo. He opens the Iliad alone, raining arrows of plague down on an entire army for 9 days, over a single insult to his priest. He slew the great serpent Python and took its oracle at Delphi for his own. He even killed the Cyclopes, the smiths of Zeus, in revenge. Apollo is prophecy, music, the sun, and sudden death from a distance, beautiful and merciless. Number 8. Hera. Hera does not fight with her hands, she fights with the throne. As queen of the gods, she can turn all of Olympus against you, and she spent a lifetime doing exactly that to the hero Heracles, hounding him from his cradle to his grave. She raised killing storms against the sons of Zeus, and once she came within a breath of overthrowing Zeus himself, leading the other gods to bind the king in chains. She is the one power on Olympus the king of the gods has to watch his back for. Number 7. Athena. Wisdom and war in a single figure, and that combination is unbeatable. Twice in the Iliad she meets Ares on the battlefield, and twice she leaves him broken in the dust. But her real power is subtler. Every hero who actually kills a monster, Perseus, Heracles, Odysseus, wins because Athena is standing behind him. She was born no infant, but fully grown and fully armored, straight from the skull of Zeus. Strategy beats strength every time. Number 6. Hades. The books make him a sulking villain in a dark basement. The myths make him a king. Hades rules a full third of all creation, the entire realm of the dead, and he wears the helm of darkness, a crown that makes its bearer completely invisible, even to gods. He commands the one kingdom no soul ever escapes, where even the other Olympians have no power. No ranking ever puts him this high. They should. The books got Hades the most wrong of anyone on this list. Number 5. Poseidon, the earth shaker. With a single strike of his trident he splits the ground and drowns whole coastlines, and he does it on a grudge. He is the second of the great brothers, the lord of every sea, and he fathered half the monsters the heroes had to die fighting. When Odysseus blinded his son, Poseidon hunted that one mortal across 10 years of ocean just to make him suffer. The sea does not forgive. Number 4. Zeus, king of the gods, and only number 4. Because Zeus was not born to the throne, he took it. He overthrew his own father, Kronos, and freed his swallowed brothers and sisters. And then, at the very start of his reign, he nearly lost everything. The monster Typhon, a creature taller than mountains, defeated Zeus in single combat, cut the very sinews from his hands and feet, and left him crippled in a cave. Zeus had to be rescued, healed, and only then did he return to bury Typhon beneath a volcano, where the mountain still burns. That is why Zeus is the king, not because he was given power, but because he won it twice. And yet, 3 forces still sit above him. Everything in this ranking comes from the real sources, and if you want to read them yourself, the 2 books I pulled from are D'Aulaire's Book of Greek Myths and the illustrated Percy Jackson's Greek Gods. The links are in the description. Those are affiliate links, and as an Amazon associate I earn from qualifying purchases. Here is where every other ranking stops. But Zeus is only the strongest of the young gods. There are older things. Number 3. Hecate, the goddess of magic and the crossroads. Hesiod tells us that Zeus honored Hecate above all other gods, that she alone keeps a share of power in every realm, the earth, the sea, and the sky. The Olympians do not command her, they defer to her. She is the one whose name even the gods speak carefully. Number 2. Nyx, night herself. She is a primordial, older than the Olympians, older than the Titans, present before the world had a shape, and there is a single astonishing moment in the Iliad. Zeus is in a towering rage, ready to punish the god of sleep, and he stops. He stops cold, because, Homer tells us, Zeus feared to do anything to swift night. The king of the gods, the god who buried Typhon under a mountain, afraid of a single goddess. That is Nyx. And number 1, the Fates. 3 old women in the dark. One spins the thread of every life that will ever be, one measures its length, and one holds the shears and cuts. Every mortal, every hero, and every god lives only as long as that thread allows. Even Zeus is bound by them. He can rage, he can plead, he can shake the heavens, but he cannot add a single day to a life the fates have measured, and he cannot stop the shears. The most powerful force in all of Greek myth was never the god with the thunderbolt. It was 3 old women and a thread. That is your number 1. So tell me, did the books get Hades the most wrong when everyone else buries him near the bottom? Or is the real shock that 3 old women outrank Zeus himself? Tell me in the comments. And if you want the myths darker, stranger, and truer than the books ever showed you, subscribe. That's all we do here.